Welcome, dear friends, to another study of the book Courage. Here we are. Every week we study one of the chapters of this blessed work by several spirit authors through the mediumship of Francisco Cândido Xavier. And today we have chapter 40. Can you believe we've been together over 40 weeks? And this message is by the Spirit Emmanuel, and he titled this message Setbacks. Who does not feel like we have setbacks in our lives, right? As we progress, as we go. So he's going to give us a beautiful teaching and understanding of what setbacks may or may not be. We'll see. Chapter 40, Setbacks by the Spirit Emmanuel. Quote, in the presence of any setback, think about goodness. A tiring work. It will be providence that enables you to fight against disturbances which may present in your pathway. A missed meeting, such as setbacks, certainly happen in your favor. A postponed achievement. The postponement of your wishes will be to your benefit, so that you assume such commitment at the right time. A canceled trip. A frustrated plan is probably a resource that will reassure your balance. A car broken down, or a broken down car. This upsetting incident is possibly the process which prevents you being in a potential accident. An organic indisposition. A minor illness has appeared in order to lead you to a non-postponable treatment. An affection which has left you. A separation is like a surgery in the field of the soul, very often keeping you in peace and safety. A death in the home. The farewell of a beloved one almost always comes from the Lord's mercy, in the sense of avoiding more sufferings, for he who leaves as well as for those who stay. In the presence of any setbacks, think about goodness, because during the course of any circumstance, behind of any life setback, God's goodness is operating by the Spirit Emmanuel. Now imagine if when we were little ones, very moldable and malleable through the process of childhood and reincarnation, we had learned some of these teachings, might have prevented us from being frustrated when all of those things happened. So in this level of evolution, in the planet of trials and expiations, that's where we are. We have setbacks, and we need to learn how to deal with setbacks. Now, the blessing of having the Spiritist doctrine in our lives is, while Spiritism is not going to remove the obstacles and setbacks, will give us an understanding or how to overcome them, how to be resigned to the designs of God, and how to be resilient in the face of difficulty. That's what Spiritism brings to us. So, as I read this line by line, let's think about how many times we have had one of these setbacks: tiring work, missed meetings, postponed achievements, canceled trips, broken down cars, organic indispositions, affections that have left us, death in our homes, and how many times this has happened? Possibly many times. We have had tiring work, so we are working. Providence continues to enable us. It's hard, but we are learning. Oops. Missed meetings. Such setbacks certainly happened in your favor. Postponed achievements. How many times we miss a meeting and we think it's for our favor, right? This is a very unique way of us understanding the reason behind things happening to our lives. Postponed achievements. He says the postpone of your wishes will be to your benefit so that you assume such commitment at the right time. So when we have something we're really working for, it doesn't work, we never see it as not the right time. He says, you will be for your benefits. Because sometimes what we want is our wishes. But the question is, what are God's wishes for my lifetime on this earth? Cancel trip. A frustrated plan is probably a resource that we are sure you're balanced, right? Sometimes we travel and it's so tiring, so all consuming, and then we can take that time to take care of what needs to be taken care. Broken down cars. How many of us have a broken down car and think potentially prevented me from an accident? He says this upsetting incident, because it's not fun, right? Possibly is possibly the process which prevents you being in a possible accident. So we need to understand that God's put us the right place at the right time. While we're very inconvenient, imagine it's hot, it's raining, or it's really cold, and we're in the middle of the road. It's for our own benefit. An organic indisposition. How many of us sees illnesses as a way for us to stop, think, and take the treatment now versus delaying and possibly having a worse indisposition in the future? He says a minor illness has appeared in order to lead you to a non postponable treatment. So we have to deal with it right now. An affection that has left us. And this can be, a loved one who left, who traveled, it can be a significant other, it can be a friend, it can be, anybody. Separation is like a surgery in the field of the soul, keeping us in peace and safety. And perhaps when we were younger, more have some more decades of life than me. But if you're watching this, you're younger, someone left you, a relationship didn't work, we tend to see it as the storm. We can never recover. But then if you look back, when you're older and wiser and more life experiences, you'll be like, yeah, that was not the right person for me. They left. They went in their own way. And to love is to let people that we love go their separate ways if that's needed. And then we see it. We are able to see it later with the wisdom of the learning opportunity with that we get through this, right? A death in the home. A lot of us came through to Spiritism through the death of loved ones. No other religions explain so much when a loved one discarnates than Spiritism, right? The process of coming together in families with certain configurations. Not a lottery that we're lucky to be born here and there. It happens for a reason under the design of the superior spirits who are fulfilling God's will on the universe. So when someone leaves this physical body behind through the process of discarnation, we need to see it as their time for graduation, to go now to the spiritual realm because they've done here on the physical realm everything that they were supposed to. And he says, a death in the home, the farewell of a beloved one almost always comes from Lord's mercy, even though we will miss them. It's going to be hard. It's going to be difficult. We will overcome. They will be in the spiritual realm at some point, looking back at us, helping us. So we pray for them. We wish them well, that they go be rescued, that they go to the hospital and receive treatment in the spiritual realm, that they recover well, and they can go to a colony and spend time in the errant state before they have to return to the earth. The sense of avoiding more sufferings for he or she who leaves, as well as those who stay. Sometimes it's time for that person to graduate and go, and we stay. We have to live through the separation, for the difficulty, but it is God's will and mercy that it happens so. And last but not least, he says, in the presence of any setbacks, think about the goodness because during the course of any circumstances, behind of any life setbacks, God's goodness is operating. Even if you and I, as mortal spirits, live in this reincarnation, don't understand, it is God's will. And God's goodness reigns in the universe. We're never alone. We have our friends, we have our loved ones in both realms of life. We have our spirit mentors with us. We have so many resources, visible and invisible, at our disposal. And it always starts with the awareness of the blessings of Spiritism in our lives. Dear friend, it has been a blessing to spend these weeks with you. And God willing, I'll return with another chapter next week. Until then, stay well, stay safe, and I sure hope to see you soon.